match up in turn number 2, and we're ready to go when they come off of turn number 4. Budzyna to bring the field down off of turn number 4. Dan Hayes up on the outside. KJ waving the green flag, and they're underway. Down into 1 they go.
A drag race for the moment into turns 1 and 2. Budzyna able to just peek out from Hayes, but Hayes favored that top side all year long. Immediately shoots to the top, finds himself even with Budzyna off of turn 4.
Off the corner they come, and Hayes sets atop the leaderboard after 1 lap. Sets the pace off of turn number 2. Budzyna sits second. Meack is third, taking a look down to the inside with the 4 of Sleboda, the 8 of Johnson, and the 89 of LaValle rounding out the top 6. LaValle looks like he's got a little bit of smoke wisping from that car as he lets off the gas.
Just a little bit, but it'll keep him going so far. Hayes is out to a 7-car length lead with Budzyna and Arthur Meack dueling behind him side by side for the second position.
Meack down on the inside looking for the number 2 spot, edging out ahead of Budzyna for that position off of turn 2. Budzyna battling back up on the outside. They roll off of turn number 4. Hayes trying to get away from the rest of the pack as they roll down into 1.
Off of 1 and into 2, Dan Hayes leading the charge by 12 car lengths now. Battle is for third between 2 playoff drivers, Budzyna and Richie Johnson. Joust for the 3rd spot. Budzyna got a little loose, able to gather it back in. Johnson overtakes that final podium spot.
Richie Johnson up into the 3rd spot, one of the hottest drivers, the most consistent all year long in the Sport 4 division, finds himself up into the top 3. They roll off the corner. Meack, who's got 3 wins on the season, settles into the number 2 spot. Little by little, he is closing in on Hayes as they roll down the backstretch.
Into the backstretch and into turn number 3, Dan Hayes, who took the lead at lap 1 and has held on for the remaining 6 laps, sits atop the leaderboard. Meack comfortably in second, with everyone starting to stretch themselves out around the 3rd mile as the leaders hit turns 3 and 4.
Deep in the field, that green and black 08 of A.J. Manuel trying to work himself up through the field is closed in on Christine Cavallaro. He takes a look to the outside. Meanwhile, in front of them, Sam Sleboda dives down to underneath Budzyna. They come off at turn number 2. Sleboda picks up that 4th position.
Leaders coming off of turn number 4. Dan Hayes leading them across the start-finish line. 9 laps on the board, with Johnson now trailing Meack by just a car length on the top side with a caution out. There might be some debris on the racetrack.
So we're under yellow for the first time. Let's get the word on what that caution is for. That debris out on the racetrack, and the Elmwood Chrysler Dodge Jeep track team going to grab that and clean up the racetrack. I want to remind our race fans there is no standing along the fence line during the races. This is for your safety and so the folks behind you can see. Season winding down quickly in 2025. It seems like it was just back in May yesterday when we kicked off our 80th season. 6, Christine Cavallaro, A.J. Manuel, Joe Mello, and Matt Smith. Your top 10. 9 laps are complete. 16 laps remain in this as they get ready and come off of turn number 4. Green flag unfurls. Hayes once again gets a good jump and leads the pack down into 1.
Hayes leading the charge into turn number 2 on Meack and Richie Johnson. Sam Sleboda.
Trouble down off of turn number 2. 2 cars getting together. Mello and Switzer get together off of turn number 2. And that's going to slow us up.
For all playoff cars, you have to go back to the 8th starting position for the final playoff car. That is A.J. Manuel. Dan Hayes, another good jump on the field as the green unfurls, and this is coming back with Hayes got to jump a little too quick. Johnson, Sleboda, second row. Budzyna, LaValle round out the top 6. Nice and smooth. As KJ gives them the green flag, we are back underway.
It's going to be a quick one. We got a problem up in turn 3 as Josh Switzer could not get up to speed. It looks like the car had stalled just as he was trying to fire it back into gear. And once they saw that, they were forced to throw the caution. Turn number 4, Hayes and Meack. Side by side, off the corner, there's a green, up on the throttle we go, and once again, Hayes with a great jump gets the lead. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Meack missed a shift, but he just did not come up to speed. They both fired at the same time. As they come off of 4, it's Hayes setting the pace.
Johnson and Meack now even for the second spot. A.J. Manuel, like a mouse, just shifted his way quietly to the 4th position. The top 6 now are your playoff cars. Off of 4, top 3, single file. Hayes leading the pack into turn 1.
Down into 1, Hayes with a car length and a half over Richie Johnson. Down into turn number 3. Richie's got a pair of wins on the season, looking to clinch his first championship this year, but he's got some work cut out for him. Takes a look to the outside, down into turn number 1.
Hayes nice and comfortable on the bottom groove with Johnson now. Going to try the top side, Meack 3rd. Manuel sits in the 4th position, cross flags given this time by. 13 laps on the board, 12 circuits to go for 14. And the Dan Hayes Black Cat Racing machine with Richie Johnson trying the top side. He's going to have real estate into 3 and 4.
Richie with a good run on the outside, trying to take away that lead that Hayes has worked so hard to hold on to. All of a sudden, Meack is right there, and here comes Manuel in a 4-car battle. Manuel from the top looking to the bottom of Meack as they hit turn 3.
4 cars fighting for 3 spots into 3 and off of 4 with Dan Hayes clinging to that lead. Johnson slid up the racetrack, has to bring it back down, has the room. Meack currently sitting 3rd. You go 12 car lengths back from Manuel in 4th. You find Jacob Budzyna in 5th. But at lap 16, Johnson and Hayes still duel for the top spot.
Into 1 and 2, and Johnson working that outside lane little by little, gaining that step that he needs to try to take over the number 1 position. Meack sitting right there in the catbird seat as they roll off of turn number 4. Hayes trying to hold him off, and he does again. Meack looking to thread the needle. Hayes right there as well. Manuel right there in the 4th spot as they roll down into 3.
Into 3 and off of 4. Johnson gets a good run of steam on the outside of Hayes again, but is still unable to catch up to speed with the 14 of Dan Hayes. Those machines separated by 0.12 seconds into 3 and off of 4. Might be the same result this time as Hayes is able to cling on to the lead at lap number 19.
Still door handle to door handle down into turn number 1. What a show these drivers are putting on as they roll down the back straightaway. Mello goes -1 to the leader. The 88, the 2 all in line to go a lap down. That may work in the favor of Hayes with the lane that Johnson is pulling. They roll down into 1. Hayes a little bit sideways. Johnson trying to even back up.
Johnson creeping down the right rear quarter panel of Dan Hayes, able to get a run on the outside, and is even with the leader as LaValle heads pit side. Battle for the lead across the start-finish line. Dan Hayes able to edge it out by 3/4 of a car length on the 8 of Johnson into 2.
3 laps to go, make it 2.5 as they roll down the back straightaway. Or 3.5 as they hit turn number 3. Johnson settling back into the number 2 spot, trying to regain that run. Takes another peek to the outside, down into 1 with less than 3 to go.
Top 4 single file with 2.5 laps to go, with Dan Hayes leading the charge into 3 and off of 4. Twin twigs in the air, 2 circuits to go, and it's the Dan Hayes show. Up front into 1 and heading into 2.
Hayes doing his best to hit his marks each and every time. One little slip up will cost him with Johnson, Meack, and Manuel in tow. White flag in the air as they roll off of 4.
Your leaders hit the start-finish line with the white flag in the air one more time around for the 14 of Dan Hayes. The 8 of Richie Johnson goes to the high side again. Hayes clinging tight down bottom. Johnson's going to have a run on the outside, but he is going to run out of room and time. Dan Hayes takes down win number 2 on the year. Second place to go to Richie Johnson. Arthur Meack, A.J. Manuel, and Sam Sleboda round out the top 5.
Dan, congratulations. The 25 laps were not an easy 25 laps at all. Well, they were until that first caution came out.
Unbelievable. You know, these guys get on you. You better stay on your toes or they'll get by you quick. But nice to get out in front again and win another race here. hopefully this puts us in good contention for that title at the end.
Well, it definitely solidifies you in the Sunoco chase for the Cup, but you got to feel real good holding off Richie and Arthur over those last couple of restarts and those last dozen laps.
Well, yeah, if you look at our lap times over the last few weeks of all of us racing together, we're right in there with a tenth of each other. So it's real competitive out there. You got to get out there and you got to keep the lead and you got to hold them off.
This car and you have come a long way since opening day.
Yeah, we've worked hard for it. We've had some help along the way from Mikey LaForte and his family and friends, everybody here at the track, the great guys at the back that got us lined up every week, always encouraging everybody. And, everybody that's helped along the way has got us to where we are now. But we've been fast the last few weeks. Hopefully we can keep it up.
Congratulations. Welcome back to Victory Lane. Win number 2. Richie, a great run for second. Try as you might on the outside. You just couldn't get by that 14.
Yeah, I was trying. I just kept pushing coming out of turns 2 or 4, but good night for the points. So.
Tough week last week. You were shut out for the first time in a long time. You come back with a good solid second. Getting into the chase, you got to feel real confident over the next few weeks.
Yeah, I don't know, we'll see how the car feels over the next couple of weeks and see what we got for the last race of the year. It's the only one that matters. So.
Well, I know you got some people you want to thank.
Yeah, I got to thank my girlfriend, my family, my friends, Matty Tire, Down Home Fence, J Corp, Unlimited Excavation, Lynch and Combine Insurance, Moonlit Roots, Andrew's Family Automotive, Cornwell Tools, It's a Lascious Life, and Abstract Welding.
Great run. Second place. Good. What happened on that restart?
Misshift. I missed the shift.
The car looked good. You had a great battle with Dan at the, just before that. Once the car got going, you and Richie were going great over those last 10 laps.
Yeah, I was hard, clean racing right there with me and Rich.
Well, it's got to feel real good. A great kickoff to the championship chase.
Absolutely. I'm very pleased.
Who do we got behind you?
Well, I'd like to thank Dave Westgate, Cam Balmain, my wife, my mom, my Aunt Cheryl, my sister, my nieces, nephews, kids, Kayla Torres from Family Dentistry, Bruce's Scrap Metal, Middlebar Recycling, AT Disposal, and Jeff, Chuck, and Linda.
Great run for